Venezuelan border right here in Cúcuta, Colombia. Check this out. Look over here. Check that out. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll zoom in here. Here comes a whole bunch of kids doing PT. This is awesome. This is great to see. Would you film it with your camera, please? I need some good footage of it. Check this out. Yay! Venezuela libre. He's carrying a kid. That's awesome. Well, folks, do me a favor and post in the chat where you're watching from. I know we didn't give you any heads up on this live because I just decided to do it last minute down here at the border, just because I wanted to show you what's going on. The title is kind of clickbait. I'll have to admit that right up front, because I said it's a border invasion. And what I mean by that is what you see right here. Let's flip this around. And no, I'm not actually talking about the American provided M1117. These are armored personnel carriers over here. That's not the invasion I'm talking about. This is the invasion I'm talking about. Right now, there's probably more journalists down here than there are Venezuelans. And any Venezuelan who is crazy enough to come across the bridge into Colombia at this point is going to get mobbed by journalists wanting to get an interview. So people, but most of these journalists are not from the United States. I've only met one so far, but I want to go over here and show you these military vehicles. Let's try not to get run over. There it says, come back soon, Colombia is waiting for you. And we got these guys here in these American provided, they're called M1117s. And they were originally built for the military police in the United States. They have a 50 caliber Browning machine gun mounted right there and a 40 millimeter chain gun, a grenade launcher right next to it. That's their armament. And these things, they've got, I think, 4 or 5 of them down here. There's one back off that direction. And I thought it was kind of funny because you see all these troops here along the border. These poor guys are bored to death. Están aburridos, ¿no? Muy aburrido. Yo estaba soldado. Yo sé. ¿Cómo es? But these guys are doing a great job. Buena obra. And the bridge is wide open, going both directions. So you want to see what's going on here. This is what it looks like. This is the border that, the bridge that crosses into Venezuela. I'm just going to walk down this way. You can only go so far. We walked out here earlier and we got stopped by the FANB, who's the Venezuelan armed forces, who are guarding their side of the bridge. There were only 2 of them. They were not armed, and they were pretty skittish and jumpy and not real happy to see us. But they said, basically, you have to have a permit to go into Venezuela as a journalist. And I said, okay, well, where do we get the permit? And they said, you don't. They said, don't bother. So we didn't bother. But this bridge has been the scene of millions of Venezuelans fleeing their country, coming out of Venezuela. They are, they're not going back in. I just talked to a Venezuelan prostitute a minute ago. It's over here getting some work done, apparently. And there's a bus full of Venezuelans going back home. Anyway, I was just talking to this Venezuelan lady and just asked her, how come she's from Maracay, so how come you're not going back to Venezuela? And she goes, well, I'm not going yet. I I want to go back, but you know, just because Maduro is gone does not mean that the regime is gone. And so I want to be sure that the regime is completely collapsed before I go back to Venezuela. So I'm not sure how good the connection is going to be going out here. I'm not going to go a lot further, but let me just turn the camera around here and show you this bridge. Those mountains in the background are in Venezuela. And you see that the bridge is wide open, both ways, traffic. More journalists out there. That's what those lights are. Journalists all over the place. There's a lot of people that are bringing, they go into Colombia and they go shopping, and then they take their products and go back into Venezuela. So they live in Venezuela but shop in Colombia. And that's been the case ever since Gustavo Petro took office. He opened this bridge up. Una consulta. En Venezuela, ¿cómo se llama? Los colectivos están en la frontera todavía.
No hay.
No hay.
Supuestamente hay información de que es en Caracas que hay problemas.
Ah, ok.
Pero nosotros venimos del estado Barinas y no hay problema con la vía, no hay problema con la carretera.
¿Y ustedes han visto como celebraciones o algo ahí?
Está todo muy solo. Este es el temor más grande, que está todo muy solo, muy solo.
Muy solo. ¿Por qué? Nadie...
Por la incertidumbre de lo que pueda pasar. Tenemos miedo que ahora los venezolanos arremetan contra nosotros.
Ok.
Porque si los que quieren a Maduro están molestos, ¿por qué no van a Estados Unidos a buscarlo en Nueva York?
Sacaron a Maduro, pero los demás todavía están.
Otras ratas más.
Sí. Bueno. Que Dios le bendiga. Gracias. So that Venezuelan guy just gave me a little interview there, and he said that I asked him first if there were armed gangs along the border, because Nicolas Maduro has had his guys doing his dirty work down here on the border. He didn't trust his soldiers to be on the border because they kept defecting into into Colombia. And so what he did was sent the colectivos, which are like biker gangs, down to the border, and basically anything they steal is their paycheck. So they would steal from the people that are coming back across from Colombia. Sorry, I'm going to go back here and see if I can find my cameraman. He got lost. So now apparently those colectivos are completely gone compared to from what this guy told me. He said that the colectivos are active in Caracas, and we've heard other reports about that, where the colectivos are threatening people. They're driving around with guns, waving their guns and telling people not to come out of their homes in Caracas, and they're just trying to maintain their grip on. President Trump's going to have more work to do if he really wants the United States to control Venezuela. That's not happening right now. He's not, with the United States doesn't have any troops on the ground. We are not in control of Venezuela, and there's chaos in the streets in many parts of the country, as the criminal gangs are really the only ones that have any power, because they're the ones with the guns, and they operate kind of on their own. They do what they want to do. So with that in mind, hey, ¿dónde está Joel? Tráigalo, porfa. So as I interviewed that guy, I also asked him if there were any celebrations inside Venezuela. You hear some fireworks going off over there. That's celebrations on this side of the border. But we haven't seen celebrations per se in Venezuela, and that's because the Venezuelan government, or what's left of it, is threatening people with literally being killed. Like, you will be branded a traitor and executed if we see you celebrating that Maduro is gone. So there's that. I mean, I guess that will, it will have to collapse completely for us to see. And when that happens, I guarantee you, we will see a lot more celebrations all over Venezuela. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back around again. As I said, journalists everywhere. Telemundo right there. And this is the entrance to Colombia. Now, I'm kind of in the no man's land right now. These guys know me. I've talked to them and they said it was okay for me to go in there. So I walked out, you know, kind of, normally this would be the place where you would show your passport, but since Petro took office, that's not the case anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna go, you film me, okay. So we're gonna go across and see if we can talk to some Venezuelans. There's not a lot in here right now. Like I said, they're just kind of staying away from the border. So we'll have to see what happens. So here we go. And you can see the real invasion is the journalists that are here. There's tons and tons of journalists, especially all gathered around this great photo op of a military presence. Now, people might say the tensions are high on the border. It doesn't seem that way to me. Every time I've been here before this, tensions have been much higher than they are now. Now it's like there's almost nobody here. And so there's a lot of bored soldiers and police kind of standing around. They are prepared for a big crowd of people, but until that regime actually falls, you're not gonna see much happen down here. Now, let's go this way. We're gonna go across. Let's try not to get run over. You see there's journalists everywhere. Okay, are they, I think they're gone. Oh no, that bar was down, it's right here, it's right here. No, she's still there. Now it gets pretty loud down here, lots of loud music, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear me or not, but we'll give it a try. Come on down. These guys are all, they ride motorcycles, los motos, ¿no? Hasta Venezuela, ¿cuánto cuesta para ir? Ajá. ¿Dónde 5,000 para al otro lado del puente. Ah, ok. Ah, sí. Depende para dónde vaya, depende si pero y hay bastante venezolanos entrando. Entrando y saliendo, sí. ¿Sí? Ambos lados. Ambos lados. Como siempre. Está todo normal. No, so he says everything's just normal. That it's about $1.50 to take a motorcycle and a motorcycle taxi into Venezuela, depending on where you want to go. And they offered me a ride, but of course I'm not going to go in there. And he said, yeah, it's pretty tranquilo in there right now. So we're good. I'm just going to walk out here in the street because it's too loud, music. No había problemas. No había problemas. ¿No? Aburrido. Sí. Yo sé. The guy, the soldier there said, no, they haven't had any trouble down here. Nothing's gone on. I got to show you this car because it's a car the size of a shoebox and it's the loudest thing on the planet. I'm not sure why people do this, but we'll go look at it over there. This is insane. Look at this. I think the stereo is probably worth more than the car. Yeah, it was Pablo Escobar in there. So, here's some street food. Oh, Vienna sausages, kind of. This is a very common business. This is actually the kind of business that we get the single moms that we support down in Cartagena. We get them set up with a business like this. It costs about $1,200 to buy one of these hot dog carts, and then they can go out in the street near their home and can sell, food, and they don't have to go downtown and try to beg from the tourists and end up having their kids picked up by perverts coming from the United States. So they got burgers and hot dogs and French fries and everything here. So many times that I've been here, this is like, you're just bumping shoulders with people. It's like standing room only. Venga, venga. No, they didn't want to. Okay. So yeah, we are running into some working girls here, which is normal. That happens a lot. Here, we'll go ask. Let's see if this lady can talk. This guy's selling plums. Yum. And oranges, plums and oranges. Hola, ¿cómo está? Que Dios le bendiga. ¿Usted es venezolana?
Sí, señor.
¿Dónde vive?
No, yo vivo en San Antonio.
En San Antonio de Táchira,
Sí,
al
señor.
otro lado. So, ¿por qué está aquí? ¿Para hacer compras?
Sí, estoy haciendo un mercadito.
Ok, ¿qué ha cambiado mientras que el Nicolás Maduro se fue?
Pues hasta la fecha no ha cambiado nada porque hasta ayer fue en la madrugada es que a él
Porque todavía el gobierno está en control.
Todavía hasta ahora no se ha sabido nada.
Pues, ok. Muchas gracias.
Bueno,
Que Dios le bendiga.
igualmente.
So, yeah, she just said the same thing everybody else is saying, that the government's still in control in Venezuela, so there's nothing to get excited about just yet. They're certainly happy that Maduro is gone, but that's going to take quite a bit more to get to the place where these people are actually free. Okay, so let me turn this back around. All right, so I'm sure the connection is not great down here. Thank you to Joel, my buddy, for coming down here on his own dime and just hanging out with me. It's always nice to have somebody watching your back down here in this part of town. That's a little crazy, but so, hola. ¿Puede cambiar bolívares aquí? Sí. Yo tengo, pero no vale nada. Ni papel higiénico. So they're just exchanging money. They said they can exchange. Ha subido el valor después de se fue Maduro. Ha bajado. So the value of the Venezuelan currency dropped even more after Maduro got grabbed. So there's a bakery over here. And little street dogs waiting for some handouts. I've seen this little girl a couple times down here. Sweet little dog. I always love the animals. Yeah, that's a gotta come. All I want used to be. I should take some of this video. I should take some of this video and actually splice it with from before, so you can see just how insane it was down here when Maduro was. I mean, the people were just fleeing like crazy. But now everybody's just kind of holding their breath to see what happens. So stay tuned, folks. Please go to Holton.com and support our work. It's not cheap, flying all around the world, 25 countries a year, bringing you the ground truth of what's happening. Oh, this lady's got a cool business. She sells coffee. ¿Tiene café descafeinado?
Puro con lechita, va bien batido, mire.
No, gracias. I asked her if she had decaffeinated coffee, and you saw the look on her face. ¿Usted es venezolana?
Claro, aquí todos somos
Cla-
venezolanos.
Todos son venezolanos. Pero,
No tenemos café descafeinado.
¿qué? See, they're cracking up.
Tenemos
I asked her if she had decaffeinated coffee, and she just about lost it.
café normal.
That's probably, creo que café descafeinado es ilegal aquí, ¿no? He said.
Yo creo que sí.
Eh,
Aquí es fresquecito, coladito, hervidito, con
Ajá.
leche en polvo.
Muy bien, muy bien. Excelente. All right, folks. So thank you very much for watching it. Again, go to chuckholton.com and you can support our work. You can get early access to stuff and, phone calls with me and some of my books and that sort of thing. Also want to say thank you to my bodyguard here, Eric. Eric came from Panama this morning to watch over me and carry all my stuff. So I'm not here by myself. Hola. So anyway, I'll come on again if something happens, but right now, there's not much happening. And that in and of itself is news. So this is the news that you don't get from the other news who only tell you the sensational stuff. This is the boring everyday stuff down here that you normally don't see. And that's why I like to show it to you, all right? So God bless you. We'll see you next time. Take care.